Good afternoon, Zinger Nation. My name is Logan Ross, and this is Moon or Bust, your home for all things altcoins and DeFi. Live from Detroit, Michigan. Today, we'll be starting off with an update on the crypto markets, the ETH BTC pair. We're going to be looking at the NFT mania, talking about some pudgy penguins as usual, finding out if I'm a PENGU millionaire yet. Won't give any spoilers on that. Then we're going to be doing a short educational segment on the difference between a few different popular stablecoins. And finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, we're going to be interviewing the team behind EverRise. If you are excited, if you're pumped up for this interview, let us know by smashing the like button. Send it straight to the moon. Let's see how strong this community is. If you are new at Benzinga, I just want to welcome you here for the first time. We are all about empowering the institutional investor, the retail trader. We say fuck the suits. We are the t-shirts, the sweatpants, the crypto traders sitting at home trying to get their bag, and Benzinga is all about helping them. So we have tons of good ideas, trade ideas, investment ideas coming at you today and always. So I would like to bring on my two co-hosts. We have the DeFi developer himself, Brian Moir, and Liquidation Nation, Ryan McNamara. How are you fellas doing today?
Just dandy.
Pretty good, Brian. I like your shirt.
Thanks, man.
One of us is going to have to change.
That'll cost extra. That's on my OnlyFans.
If you want to get one of those sick Moon or Bust tees, you can find the link in the description below, swag.benzinga.com. And also join the Telegram. We'll toss you a 25% off discount code on the swag. While you're down there, I want to point out the first link in the description below is the separate Benzinga Crypto YouTube channel. Sub to that if you're here for crypto. It has all the good stuff. As always, make sure to connect with us on Twitter. Our handles are right there as always. Okay, boom. Let's get into the market update. Ryan, do you want to talk about the ETH BTC pair? Can you pull up TradingView for us?
Let me share my screen here.
Okay, for sure. So let me go over some quick prices while Ryan is getting his screen up. We have BTC at 46.4, ETH at $3,225, BNB at $396, up 4% on the day. Cardano is, holy shit, guys, Cardano's over $2. Oh my God, I thought ADA stood for $1 always, but I was wrong. It's $2. If you guys are looking at ADA, if you're investing in ADA, drop some hype in the chat. If not, let us know what projects you are looking at this week. That is crazy. We've been looking for $2 ADA for the longest time. It's up 15.5% today, 42% on the 7-day. Man, that's got to be nice for my bag. I haven't checked my crypto portfolio tracker lately, but I will after this show. I'm sure it's going to be juicy. Let's see. We got Doge at 27 cents, Polkadot at 21, Uni at 29.50. Ryan, do you have your screen share for us yet?
Yes, I do. Can you see it or no?
Nope.
Unfortunate. Okay, let me see what I can do here.
I don't think you did.
Add to stream. I just needed to add it.
Boom. All right.
Okay. So we were trading this range for a long time. If you were watching the show for the past month, I predicted that we would be between this range for a few months, between $30,000 to $40,000. And we did trade between that range for a while, but now we're out of it. So I am looking for a retest, maybe not all the way down to here around the 42,000, but I'm hoping for around $44,000. Now, if you follow the bull market support band, which is the 21-week EMA and the 20-week SMA, that's going to be right around $44,000. And when I was looking at that earlier, I was thinking maybe we already tested it because we did have this dip. However, it was really short and we only got down to 43.7. I think that the bull market support band's right around 42, 42.5 actually. So we didn't hit it. I'm probably going to wait until we get a retest of that bull market support band. Wish I could pull it up, but I can't at the moment. But yeah, that's right around like $43,000, but it's moving up now because the prices are above that $43,000 mark, and it's the average of those prices over the last 20 weeks. It will be going up so long as we stay above $43,000. However, this is looking really bullish. Something I like to trade on is called Elliott wave theory. It's a set of 3 impulse waves and 2 corrective waves. So if we use that, we can say this is our first impulse wave up, and then we have a corrective wave down, which is right here. and then our second impulse wave up, and then our next corrective wave down. And this corrective wave cannot go past the prior peak from the first impulse wave. So we did see that. So what I'm expecting now is this fifth leg up in Elliott wave theory. It works out a lot. You can see it kind of back here. You know, we had this big impulse wave up. We came down. We went back up. And then we came back down, and we did almost retest this prior all-time high, but we didn't quite get there. And then we had our last impulse wave up. You could say this is it. You could say this is all one big impulse wave, however you want to look at it. But I think that there will be one more impulse wave here, and maybe we'll get to like here. Let me draw another line, and we're going to keep this line on for the next few months, see if I'm right. I'm thinking like 49. Probably 49,000. Oh, wrong thing. I'm just going to put this over here. Let's see. This one. Yeah. So what I'm thinking, we're going to see $49,000 Bitcoin sooner rather than later. We're really bullish. Momentum's hard to stop. I think we're going to get up to this range here where we have had some price movement in the past, and then maybe we'll retest. Maybe we'll go back down. And by that time, hopefully the bull market support bands may be at $44,000, $45,000. Retest that and hopefully keep going up. You guys have any thoughts on Bitcoin? Do we want to see the Bitcoin ETH chart? Do we want to look at Cardano? What do you guys think?
So I have a quick question before we go to that ETH BTC chart. Going into this weekend, if you're a trader, which way are you leaning?
Well, I said my stance. I think we're going to go up to around $49,000 before we see a big correction.
Okay.
But when we do see that correction, I think it'll be coming back down to that bull market support band, that 21-week EMA, that 20-week SMA, which hopefully by the time we get down there will be around $45,000.
Very cool. Let us know what you guys think in the chat. Are you bullish or bearish on the crypto market in general in the short term? And while you're down there, smash the like button. Let's see if we can get 100 likes today. I think that should be no problem with the hundreds of EverRise community members we got going on in here. Okay, let's see this ETH BTC chart. I've been seeing a lot of bullish sentiment on Twitter, online. You know, if you zoom way out, Ryan, we have a 3-year bottom. Oh, too far. Go back. Okay, a little bit too far.
There you go.
We have like a 3-year kind of bottoming out there. And in my opinion, that sets us up for some insane upward moves. We saw what it did towards the end of the bull market in 2018 in January. The ETH BTC dominance was unreal. And I think that we can get back to those levels, if not surpass them in the future. You guys know that I am super bullish ETH. I think the flippening will happen this market cycle within the next 12 months. I know that's a hot take. Let us know what you guys think in the chat. Always open to new ideas here. But yeah, it looks like Ryan has drawn this triangle here. We've broken upwards out of this triangle. And we could be looking for some increased ETH dominance over the short term here. Ryan, Brian, do you have any thoughts on this ETH BTC pair?
Yeah, I agree with you, Logan. Like I drew here, their little triangle. You can draw it whatever way you want, but this would be the most conservative coming from these two tops, and we're still broken out above it. Hopefully we hold this, and it kind of looks like a bull flag. You know, maybe we can go higher. That'd be really cool.
Brian, you got anything for us?
No, I agree. I honestly am thinking we might see 50K before we see below 40K. But I mean, I think Ryan pretty much laid it out exactly how I feel about it too. I don't really have much more to add. But I think we do see 50K in the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Before we would see below 40K. Maybe.
I'm honestly not convinced we're going to see below 40K again. We'll let the market prove me wrong there. But yeah, we'll have to just wait it out and see. I'm pretty bullish in the short term here. Okay, you want to pull up ADA for us now, Ryan?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, this is one that Ryan does not like.
Still can make you money, though. I like anything that can make you money.
Exactly. So I saw a cool comment here from Craig. Let's rise to the occasion. Let's see if you can rise to the occasion of 100 likes. We're at 61 right now, and then we're only a couple minutes into the show. I think 100 could be done in the next 5 minutes if y'all go crazy.
Boom, boom, boom,
and maybe
boom,
we
boom.
could get 250 by the end of the episode. That would make my day.
Might even do another swag giveaway.
Oh boy.
If y'all make some likes happen real quick, we'll do a swag giveaway. How about that?
Hell yeah.
So it looks like ADA has been ripping even more than I thought. Jeez Louise. I mean, we were on a solid uptrend even all the way since $1, basically. And now we're at about 100% gains from there. That was probably right around the same time Bitcoin was at $29,000. Ethereum was at $1,700. But we haven't seen any significant correction just yet. We're still going parabolic. And this is the one-day candle. And you can see just 24, not even 24 hours ago, but at the open of this one-day candle, we were at about $1.80. And since then, now we're above $2. That's over 20% gain right there. Actually, no, that's not a 20% gain. That's a 10% gain. Nonetheless, for 24 hours, that's crazy gains. And if you go back just like 4 days to $1.50, that's well above 25% gains. So we're looking pretty good with ADA right now. What do you guys think?
Oh, yeah. Well, go ahead.
So you guys know if you've been following the show for a while, you know that a couple months ago, I was pretty bearish on ADA. I didn't think it had a chance to beat ETH from a fundamental perspective. But then I took a step back. I said, wait a second, crypto bull markets are not about fundamentals. They're about momentum. And even from a fundamental perspective, having Cardano as a hedge to my ETH position made sense to me. So I picked up a bag around the $1, $1.20 mark. And I've just been watching it ride since then. I think that Cardano could be one of the biggest returns on investment this market cycle. I think we could definitely see a 5x from here. It's not impossible. It's going to be difficult. $10 Cardano is going to be a ridiculously huge market cap. You have to keep that in mind. So don't expect it. But crypto is volatile. You never know what can happen.
Will it be a better ROI than the Pengus, though?
That is a perfect transition to our next segment on the ongoing NFT mania. Let me just pull up the Pudgy Penguins page right here. So if you guys haven't been following along with NFT mania, crypto Twitter, the entire crypto community has said, screw the charts, screw the technicals, we want penguins. So last Thursday, Ryan put me hip. My official NFT advisor, Ryan McNamara, told me you should check out these penguins. I said, all right, looks rare. They're pretty cute. So I scooped one up for 0.17 ETH, and the ride has just been crazy since then. I've had to delist it a couple of times because the price floor has been going up so much. So it says right here 2.99, but if you filter, the lowest thing that's currently for sale is actually 3.4. So if you want to get in right now, you're going to be paying a pretty penny, just over $10,000, nearly $11,000. Man, I don't even know what to think at this point. It defies all logic, but I am here for the ride. I think I've been pretty conflicted on this lately. I got way too much money sitting in this silly penguin, and it's like on one hand, I could see them becoming the next Bored Apes, right? Which have like a 15 ETH floor right now. They have the community, they have the volume, they have that wallet to total supply ratio going that Bored Ape Yacht Club does. But on the other hand, it's terrifying. It's just terrifying to have this much money in a Pudgy Penguin. Let me know what you guys think in the chat below. Ryan and Brian, what do you think I should sell at, or should I hold it forever?
Don't hold it forever. But I mean, ride the wave, man. I mean, there's no reason to like sell out early because you have that. It's well, okay. Let me backtrack. It's a little different than stocks because you don't want to hold on and then lose and get greedy and lose out on money. But with these NFTs and stuff, is a whole different strategy, and I think there's a lot more reward than there is risk if you hold for a little bit longer. Once you see a big, it's already at 3 ETH. The floor price is at 3,
going up as we speak.
Just hold it for a little bit. I mean, it's booming. Yeah. Like you don't want to sell for 2 ETH when soon you can get it for 14. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There is that whole risk of, well, what if it just pops and these just don't go anywhere? But all indicators point to you can hold for a little bit longer. I mean, I don't know the floor.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
momentum's hard to stop here. I mean, it's been
Yes.
going up the past couple of weeks like insanely. It's just crazy.
Especially where you got it at. I mean, you're already in the money, you know. Ride the wave, man. Make this pudgy penguin turn Logan Ross. Hashtag Logan is a PENGU millionaire.
You heard it here. It's trending on Twitter right now. If you're not hip yet, make sure you go tweet that shit out at Logan and Ross on Twitter. Tag me, follow me, say what's up. My DMs are open, so hit me up there.
Here's some good advice. Get rid of the penguins.
Let's toss these penguins. Let's get them out of here. Let's get EverRise on. This is what you are all here, what you've all been waiting for. Go crazy, blow up the chat right now as I bring on our two special guests we have today, Wasso and Lord TJ. How are you fellas doing today?
I'm great. How are you guys doing? I'm loving the NFT talk. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah,
hell yeah! Are you in any NFTs, TJ?
Yeah, I got a few the other day. I got into the craze. I don't know how or why, but my friend convinced me. I got a few of these subducks and a couple of these fluff worlds, but I don't have a penguin. Oh, you know, Brian?
I know the subducks and fluff worlds. Our one of our producers, Scott, pointed me to fluff world, and it was a little too heavy for my my liking. But both of those, I was just looking at subducks earlier.
We actually just interviewed the co-founder of Axie Infinity on our last live stream, so check that out if you haven't. But he is into subducks as well. It's a pretty cool project.
You picked a winner.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear it. I wanted to get a penguin. I was talking to my friend David, who's on our core team as well. He told me he got a penguin like 2 days ago. We were sending a couple back and forth with each other, and I found one for 1.9 that I really wanted, and I didn't pull the trigger. And then look, 2 days later, floor is 3. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It is indeed crazy.
I need to get into NFTs a little bit, huh? I don't know.
The NFT space is hot, man.
It's booming.
So let's get a little bit of background on both of you guys and your adventures in crypto and how you joined the EverRise team, what you do for EverRise.
Yeah, sure. I could start that off. So I was actually with EverRise since pre-day one, I guess.
Wow.
Aiden, myself, and my other friend, we launched the project together. Let me get this straight. EverRise is Titan. Titan is our dev. It is his project. He is brilliant beyond words. What he has created and what he's building has never been seen in the crypto market before. EverRise is all about safety, and we're excited to talk more about that.
Cool.
Yeah, and then I'm Wasso. I been in the crypto space for a few years now, mostly as an investor. My background's in business development. I've worked for a Fortune 50 company leading a business development team in New York. My latest crypto experience was I was part of the core team of Hoj, which was the first deflationary token. The first deflationary token on Ethereum, that is. I was part of the business development and marketing team for several months until I was actually a victim of a hack, which is one of the reasons that attracted me to EverRise and, you know, the safety that it's bringing to the space. But we'll talk about that in a little bit.
That's a great story. So just in case there's anyone out there in the audience who hasn't heard of EverRise, could you tell us a little bit about the project from a high level?
Yeah, Wasso, you want to take that?
Yeah, definitely. So on a high level, I think we should start off with intentions, right? EverRise was built with the intention of bringing the buyback feature, something that's commonly used within like the stock or equities market. Anytime there's like a downturn, a company is able to buy back the stock to bring investor confidence and overall raise the price. That was the intention of EverRise being launched. We achieved that through a function called the Kraken, which has been named by our community. It's basically a big ass whale with a large holdings, where it's only able to buy on PancakeSwap. So if you figure a percentage of every transaction funds the Kraken, and then the Kraken is able to, at times, you know, whether it be like a whale sell-off or, you know, chart manipulation or just an overall market downturn, it's able to buy tokens from PancakeSwap, raise the price, and then the kicker is it instantly burns the Rise tokens that it buys. So it's hyper deflationary in that aspect.
Yeah. And to speak more to the Kraken, it currently has $2.2 million in it that can only be deployed to the EverRise contract.
Very cool.
So how does that money get deployed?
So Titan is currently the only one in control of it. So he'll go in through the back end. I'm personally not a coder. I don't completely understand what he does behind the scenes, but it's one person in control of it. I mean, when we started out EverRise, we had it automatic. So after every sell, there was a buy. And what happened is we got botted really bad on the second or third day. Someone drained $2 million worth of the Kraken into, or maybe it was like $1.5 million or something like that. But they drained a lot of money right into the chart, and then everyone sold. So we kind of learned as we went along the things that worked, the things that didn't work. So now to be completely bot proof and safe as possible, we have Titan control it, and it's been working like a charm.
Yeah, it's I'll add a little bit to that too. Like, so again, intentions, right? When the project was launched, the idea behind it was after every single sell, there will be a buy, and that would have been the Kraken. So it was an auto feature. Every time it sees a sell, it does a buy right after it. Unfortunately, day 2, there was a bot attack on the contract. So we had to turn off that feature. That feature being turned off resulted in a wallet starting to fill with BNB, which is how the Kraken name formed. We've discussed so many different ways of how to best deploy the Kraken, whether it be, having a financial team or having, AI that's constantly learning based on charts and buys and sells to kind of determine when's the best time to buy. So a lot of these things are currently being discussed. We in the moment have felt that, under Titan's, guidance, he's been deploying the Kraken, and it's been very positive. We've been able to stabilize, whale sell-offs, and, like if you take a look at our chart, there's through, what they call that temporary bearish market over the last month, we were able to pretty nicely stabilize where many other projects, have seen, 30, 40, 50%, drops.
Awesome. So let me just ask, since I'm pretty new to the EverRise community and ecosystem, I'm hearing that Kraken is the one that's Titan is the one that's in control of Kraken, which has all this money in it. Does he have a way to pull out these funds, or is there some security for that?
Yeah, there's no way to pull out the funds. It's impossible. So the way the contract is coded, the only way that those funds can be moved or deployed or anything like that is by buying back EverRise. That is the only way that the funds can be used.
Very cool.
And that was earned in our audit with Certic.
Awesome. Yeah, that Certic, I know, is a legit audit company. So that's great to see that you guys have that. So I want to toss it out to the chat right now. You guys know the most about EverRise, so you guys have the best questions to ask. Drop some questions in the chat, and we'll get them to the team for you. But next up, I saw that you guys have 76,000 wallets right now, and you guys claim to be the original buyback hyper deflationary token. But we've had some other projects come on, like Feg Token. They said they were the first, and that SafeMoon was a fork of them. So who's really the first person here? Who's making it up?
Yeah, so we are the first hyper deflationary buyback token. So we are not the first, deflationary token. We're not the first hyper deflationary token. We are the first to introduce the buyback feature.
Gotcha.
So I can't really comment on who's making it up between Feg and SafeMoon.
They all are.
But I can definitely tell you we were the first to bring the buyback feature into the crypto world. But you made a comment about our community, man. Our community is awesome. We're, like you said, 76,000 holders strong. We have 33,000 active members in our global English Telegram. We just broke 45,000 active members in our Chinese Telegram. We have, almost every week we have like a new country popping up. We've seen our Turkish community grow quite a bit, our Japanese community grow. And it's really been awesome seeing, really the global acceptance of this buyback feature, specifically also our decentralized apps that we're launching. If you guys don't mind, maybe could we talk about that a little bit while we wait for, some questions to come through?
Yeah,
totally. We do have some questions about it later. We have tons of questions prepared ourselves. But if you wanted to jump over to that now, it's a perfect time.
No. Oh no, man! Don't let me jump around your schedule.
Nope.
I'm following you.
Okay, sounds good. I actually had one next question for you guys. I see that on your website you say EverRise is a collateralized cryptocurrency. Could you speak on that a little bit? How is this cryptocurrency collateralized? Is that in reference to Kraken, or is that something else?
That's exactly what it is. It's collateralized through a safety net, which is the Kraken, which is has the ability to protect investors during like a market downturn. At that point, we're able to engage the Kraken, which will, bring a price increase to the Rise token. And through that function, it's collateralized.
Okay, so what is your guys' market cap?
Currently, I think we're just under 38 million. Is that correct?
The last time I checked, I think we were around like 37, 38, 36, something in that range.
It's
okay,
funny.
and
I actually don't look at the market cap that often.
I never look at the chart anymore because to me, I've been in the crypto space for a long time. I've seen a lot of projects. I've been involved in a lot of projects, and I've never been more confident about building something or just a project as a whole as I am about EverRise. I mean, it's just second to none. There's nothing like it that exists. The DApps that we're building are going to make the crypto space safer for everybody. I mean, our main thing is we want good people with good projects to grow. We're not all about just us. It's about keeping everybody safe and making everybody a winner. There's a lot of talented people out there, and we just want to be a part of it.
Gotcha. So it's not actually collateralized like a stable coin would be with, like, say, US dollar, and then the stable coin's equal to $1. But you do have a little bit of a safety net with Kraken, although that's, you said, around $2 million. Your market cap's about 40 million. So maybe 5% collateralized with that Kraken, depending on how deep the market is on PancakeSwap.
Correct. Yeah. And you also remember that the Kraken is in BNB.
Right. Okay, so speaking on the token itself, what utility does EverRise have?
Great question. So the utility of EverRise comes through the dApps that we're launching the first one by the end of this month. Is this a good time to transition?
Yeah, go ahead.
Perfect.
Sure.
All right, awesome. So I'll start off with our first dApp, which is EverOwn. EverOwn is going to be a decentralized application where developers will be able to come and renounce their contract to EverOwn. At that point, once they renounce their contract, EverOwn will be able to hold it until that developer wants to come back and reclaim it. Once they're looking to reclaim their contract, a vote will be put up on EverOwn. So imagine once they click the reclaim button, an instant snapshot will be taken of all of the wallet holders. At that point, all of those holders who currently hold that token will be able to vote yes or no. Depending on the results of the vote, the developer will either be able to take the contract back or they will not be able to. But the point here is that the community is who's in control, not the developers. And there's a lot of issues that arise from, not having. Let me give a few problems, for example, and then we'll talk about the issues they solve. Most projects, when they launch, they have a single wallet holder. Like 99% of projects don't launch with a multi-sig wallet, for example. So if anything was to ever happen to that developer, whether they lose interest in the project, God forbid, they pass away, that contract is lost. It's not going to be able to have any changes to it. And then the other alternative is a lot of projects, they just renounce their contract. If you renounce your contract, there are going to be upgrades or changes that you're going to need to make, whether it's when getting listed on an exchange or things of that sort, where, renouncing actually isn't a good idea. What EverOwn does, yeah, exactly. So what EverOwn does is it gives the developer the ability to build trust within his community by empowering them to decide if he's able to or not able to reclaim that contract.
Okay, so it's essentially making EverRise a governance token in a sense. Would you say that's accurate or no?
I would say not really, because the decision isn't with EverOwn, right? The decision is with the community of that token. So EverRise allows communities to govern over their contract, if that makes sense.
So in one way, you can see it as a governance token because when the community is going to vote the contract back, It's based on percentages of tokens that you're holding. So let's say you're holding 10% of the overall tokens, your vote is going to be worth more than someone holding 0.001% of the tokens.
So are these tokens actually the EverRise tokens, or would these be other tokens made on Everown through those smart contracts?
It would be the other. So let's say you're making a token called Ryan token. It would be how many Ryan tokens you're holding.
Okay.
So the Rise token has no effect essentially with voting in other projects. So people are going to have to hold Rise, like project owners are going to have to hold Rise in order to use Everown. And there'll be a fee attached to it as well. But in terms of voting on the actual project, no, you don't need to hold EverRise.
Yeah. Okay, and any BSC project can use EverRise. Like, let's say SafeMoon, for example, right? They're probably the most noteworthy BSC project out there. They're able to go into Everown, renounce their contract into Everown, and if they ever need it back to make any changes, they could go attempt to reclaim it. And then anyone that holds SafeMoon has the ability to vote to allow their devs to either get the contract back or not.
So when we're talking about the contract, we're talking about the token contract here.
The smart contract.
Like that issues the token.
Yes, the smart contract that has control of that token. So in the case of SafeMoon, for example, it would be the original smart contract that was launched out of their deployer wallet.
Gotcha.
Okay. So by uploading these contracts onto the Everown ecosystem, you're essentially gaining more trust from investors.
You're gaining more trust from investors because while it's locked in Everown, you could rest easy knowing that the developer is not making any changes to their smart contract while it's locked there.
Yeah,
gotcha. Yeah. This is a pretty unique idea. I personally haven't heard it before. Is this something that you guys came up with?
Yes, it's Titan came up with this. It was the founding idea of EverRise. When we launched the token, the plan was to create these D apps. We've expanded from the one, which was Everown, but it hasn't been done before. We have a legal and business director now who's making sure everything is tip-top shape in that front in terms of people stealing the idea and whatnot if they want to. But it's definitely something that hasn't been done. It's needed because another thing that a lot of people don't realize is there's a lot of rug pulls and there's a lot of sketchy things going on in the space these days. I mean, it's sickening. I don't even know how these people sleep at night. I can't even kill a fly without feeling bad. Stealing people's money, I can't imagine. So a lot of the time, contract owners and project owners are under stress from their community and pressure to renounce the contract ownership. And a lot of the time when they do that, they severely limit themselves in the future. I mean, when you want to get listed on an exchange, you need to whitelist an address. There's thousands of different reasons why you would need ownership of a contract, especially if you're a growing project and you have big plans. So temporarily renouncing it to Everown creates a safety net both for the community that the dev team can't go and change the tax last second to 100% and take everyone's money. Tons of things. I mean, I could speak about this for an hour, but yeah, it's another way to keep everybody safe, and that's the main goal of EverRise, and that's what we're going to be doing. So we're really looking forward to it.
And then I'll add one more, maybe two more things if you guys don't mind. The other issue that this solves is like a legacy issue. So like we said, if something happens to the developer, someone else that's been assigned can claim that contract if a certain amount of time has gone by. So you're also reducing the risk of the keys to the smart contract being lost or something happening to that developer. But we're going to be launching this by the end of the month. It's going to be on a live YouTube demo with our CEO and founder, Titan Doxing, at the same time. So hopefully, if you guys don't mind, we'll send you a link and you guys could check it out. I think it's going to be
for sure
definitely a good step to just overall like improving crypto safety, specifically in the BSC space.
Yeah, that's awesome, and it'll be great to see Titan being doxed as well. Him coming out there just shows that he has his own identity. He's got some skin in the game now. I know the community will like that. I'm seeing some comments. They want to see your guys' faces. But I'll leave that up to you. Okay, so next up, speaking of stealing some ideas, have you guys seen any other projects take the buyback function from you?
Oh yeah. There have been thousands and thousands of forks.
Wow.
And it's funny because a lot of the advertisements that the coins said, especially at the beginning, is, did you miss EverRise? Get this. the next buyback token. And there have been thousands and thousands of forks.
Any forks you want to throw some shade at for copying you guys right now?
No,
No
we
shade.
love everybody. We want
a Twitter war.
Okay,
You know,
you had the
Views are
chance.
views, my friend. Views are views.
That's right.
No, it's funny you say that, man. It's like it's kind of like a very strange feeling, you know, like so many people copy you. You kind of think like, all right, wow, you know, we had definitely an effect on, you know, the DeFi space. On the other end, you're like, holy shit, I just got copied by over 1,700 people. Like, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah, and one thing is, if you actually look at the smart contract you guys have, because all these tokens, I mean, everybody, it's all open source to an extent, not the whole project, but at least the smart contract is. And if you look through the EverRise contract, you can tell that it was written from the ground up. It's not a copy and paste with adding different things. And now all these other hyper deflationary buyback tokens, you can just keep lists, like you said, 1,700. There's probably 1,000 more. But you can definitely tell that they all have used your contract and just added little bits, which is kind of cool too, because you can see that the community and different projects are just not necessarily improving, but they're adding their own flavor to it and kind of getting, getting their own mix out of something you guys built, just like how the SafeMoon whole thing blew up. And I think that's really commendable because, if you have haters or if you have copiers, you're doing something right. So, I mean, that is awesome.
Which is why we really pushed forward with, releasing these dApps, as quickly as we can. Like a lot of these projects, they have the buyback function, which is awesome, right? Don't get me wrong. Like they're going to be able to protect their investors, like I said, through like a market downturn. But that's why, the real utility of EverRise is through these dApps, which, we're really hoping will bring awareness and just overall acceptance to both investors and developers.
Very cool. And if you guys go, okay, I was just going to toss it out to the chat. If you guys are excited to see EverRise on Benzinga, I'm seeing some Everzinga comments. That's dope. Let us know by smashing the like button. I think we're almost at 200. I want to get 250 today. So let's see if we can
we'll do a giveaway. How about that?
We'll do a giveaway at 250. Brian, I'll toss it back to you. Sorry for cutting you off.
Oh, you're fine. So one question that I think we had too is how do you guys earn revenue with the buyback function? Like how does it kind of work in terms of increasing the price or not creating a downward trend or anything like that? Can you guys kind of go into details on how that works, like a broad picture?
Definitely. You want me to take that, TJ?
Yeah, your mic is sounding a little crazy right now. So, the way that EverRise will make money that we're able to grow the project with is through our marketing wallet. So there is a 3% community. There's not community wallet. There's a 3% wallet that collects taxes off every buy and sell. It's used for building dApps, marketing, staff, etc. So that's how we personally make money. We don't make anything off the tokens. The dev tokens themselves are vested for 6 months minimum. That said, though, the way the buyback works is every time the Kraken buys tokens from the open market, it immediately burns those tokens. So they're removed from circulation and the price per token is going to go up. So it might not directly reflect on the market cap, but if you look at the price per token, it will rise every single time because
EverRise.
Exactly. We've removed those tokens from circulation. So I think currently we're almost at 24% burned in 2 months. And we're not stopping. I mean, there's no way to stop it as well. Every time the Kraken buys, the tokens are burned.
So did you guys have an initial burn when you started the project? Because I know a lot of these projects do that.
No, those are useless. I mean, they don't do anything.
Right, exactly.
You might as well just do the total supply what you wanted it to be.
And there's a quadrillion coins, and they're like, hey, we just burned 25% of them.
Marketing.
It's like, great. People are still buying in based on the price after you burned 25%.
Right. It makes no difference if you would have just started with that same amount anyway.
Just a gimmick.
It's true hyperdeflationary burn.
Something that we've seen in has been kind of like thrown out there. Wouldn't that be kind of net neutral on Ethereum if you are buying it with BNB or buying back with BNB and then burning it? Wouldn't that just kind of make it almost cancel each other out, or can you like kind of give some more detail on why that doesn't happen?
It doesn't necessarily cancel each other out because when the tokens are sold on the open market, it's not burned. Like the only burn process that happens is once the Kraken buys. So there's no way for it to negatively affect the price at all. It'll only make it go up over the course of time. And also the good thing is we can maintain a steady market cap while growing the Kraken. So it's an even bigger safety net for investors. So, I mean, think about when the Kraken has $10 million, people are going to want to get into it just because they know that they can go to bed. I mean, already people know they can go to bed and not worry about the market cap dipping by 50% overnight, like with some of these other tokens on the BSC. Like you never know what could happen. One whale sells off and all of a sudden you go to bed with $500 and you woke up with 100. And we built a mechanism to kind of counteract that. So there's no way for the price to go down. It's only if the Kraken
ever rises.
Exactly. It only ever rises.
So I've seen this Kraken, and it kind of seems like almost like Kraken is shorting EverRise because you're, instead of burning right away on the market, you're transferring it to BNB. So then if BNB goes up in comparison to EverRise, then you would be able to buy back more to burn. So it almost seems like a short. I don't know if that's accurate or not.
I don't think that's necessarily accurate, just because of the way that the whole contract with the Kraken works. So every time the contract accumulates 50 billion rise, it sells it. It's then converted to BNB, which is stored in the Kraken. The Kraken then deploys the BNB back into EverRise. So it doesn't matter if the price of BNB goes up or down per se. It's always going to be the same because our liquidity pool is in BNB. So our price is correlated directly to the price of the Binance coin.
Well, you're doing pretty good right now.
Does that make sense? Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, I want to toss it to a chat question real quick. Back to the idea of copying ideas. Are people going to be able to steal the dApps as well?
No, we're not making the code for the dApps public.
Okay, and will it have an audit? Since it's not public, will it have an audit by the time it releases?
That I don't know, because it's not necessarily a coin, but we can look into something like that. We're going to run test rounds with our community as well. We're going to make a beta token, like a beta test with a fake token, essentially, so that the community can test it out and see how it works. And we'll have tutorial videos and whatnot. The whole 9 yards we'll have up before we're ready to pitch it to projects. I've already had tons reach out to me about it, saying, I want to be the first one on Everown. I want to be the first one on Everown. So the market is there. I mean, there's a lot of good people and good projects that do want safety for their community. And in the space that we're living in right now, especially with crypto, anything that you can do to show safety and just extra security for your investors is a win.
Gotcha. Very cool. Let's see what's up next. So maybe we could talk about some of the other dApps that are coming out. I know you guys have EverWallet, EverSwap, EverSale, and EverLock.
Yes, Waso's the pro at this. I'll let him take the floor.
Let's do it. So first one we'll talk about is EverWallet, right? So currently, where do people store their tokens? They're either stored on like a decentralized wallet, like a MetaMask or a Trust wallet. They're either on a centralized exchange, like a Binance or a Coinbase or whichever, or they're on a cold wallet, like a Ledger or a Trezor. So what EverWallet is going to be is a security enhancement to be a complementary product to both MetaMask, Trust Wallet, and other like decentralized wallets. You're going to be able to have an additional password that's you interact directly with the blockchain where you'll be able to store your tokens there. So an example is, somebody gets your seed phrase, let's say. They type in your seed phrase in MetaMask, they get access to your tokens. They won't be able to interact with the tokens in that wallet without going to EverWallet and putting in an additional password. So for example, myself, I mentioned earlier that I was hacked. My hack came from somebody recovering my wallet, my private keys. Had I been on EverWallet, there would have been an additional password that they wouldn't have had access to my tokens. So EverWallet is really a security enhancement to decentralized wallets. Any questions on that before I go on to the next step?
No, that's awesome.
The next one is going to be EverSwap. So EverSwap is going to work exclusively with EverWallet. It's going to give users the ability to buy, sell, transfer any tokens that are available on PancakeSwap directly from EverWallet. So you don't run the risk of, linking up to a site where, they're able to pull your private keys. That's one of the biggest fears these days, right? These fake links of PancakeSwap where, you're interacting with them and they're able to pull your tokens directly from EverWallet. You'll be able to swap only on PancakeSwap. And then our final two dApps we're releasing is going to be Eversale and Everlock. So Eversale is going to be a launch pad for projects where they're going to be able to put up liquidity, which will be locked through Everlock. So the unique thing here is that, like, for example, with DXSale, if you go and you create a project and you put up the initial liquidity, the control of that liquidity is up to the developer. They get to choose, do I, lock it for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year? When you launch a project on Eversale, the liquidity is controlled by the community. So the community gets to decide whether they allow the developer to reduce the liquidity or not. Because rug pulls really are, two things. They're either draining of liquidity or a dev sell-off. This helps reduce the draining of liquidity as a potential rug pull, hopefully bringing some confidence and peace of mind to investors who, come to Eversale to, launch their project. But
very cool.
Together, that's our suite of products. We're currently discussing, exactly what pricing is going to look like, for example, specifically for EverOwn, which is, like I said, going to launch before the end of this month. We want to make sure that, we always have two things in mind, right? Like, growing the EverRise token value, as well as gaining wide acceptance of our dApps. So some of the things we've discussed now is some of the revenue that's generated from EverOwn to, be airdropped, for example, to all of our holders, proportionally to what they own. Some of the revenue may go into the Kraken, which will increase that safety net. But, I really wanted to focus on that point that all of the dApps we're building is with the intention of bringing safety to the space while helping increase the price of the RISE token.
So I wanted to go back to Everswap just really quickly. Are there going to be any liquidity incentives to stake on your DEX?
Are there going to be any liquidity incentives to stake on our DEX? So Everswap is a swap platform. So when you think of this, think of like any swap, think of like Change Now, for example. So you're going to have your tokens in EverWallet, which are secured on the blockchain. And then from there, you don't need to withdraw them back to MetaMask or Trust Wallet and then swap on PancakeSwap. You're going to be able to just transfer directly from the security of EverWallet to PancakeSwap, and then you'll gain those tokens back. As far as the liquidity you mentioned on our DEX, that's going to be on Eversale, where through Eversale, we'll be able to lock up the liquidity through Everlock, if that makes sense.
Okay, so is that the community members who get to lock up their liquidity and I assume they earn interest in some way? So, or is that the team?
On Eversale, the projects are going to be able to launch. Through Everlock, the community is going to be able to have control over the liquidity. So like what we're seeing now, there's like hundreds of BSC projects that launch every day. They launch, they have their liquidity locked for, a certain number of days. Some of them don't lock it at all. And as more cells come in, they start slowly pulling the liquidity. They're calling it these days like I think it's called like a slow rug pull, for example. That's the problem that Everlock is fixing.
So how are these dApps going to add revenue to the ecosystem?
So for EverOwn, for example, we're going to require the developers to hold a certain amount of RISE to engage with us. Then there's going to be a fee. I don't know exactly what, let's say, 5, 10, whatever, 15 BNB, for example. And a portion of that is going to be used, like I said, to airdrop Rise to the community. So they're increasing their Rise holdings. A portion is going to go into the Kraken, which will provide more stability. And then we may keep a portion, for further upgrades and, front end developments to the platform. But all of that will be revealed in detail for EverOwn before the end of this month. Again, when Titan doxes and gives a full rollout of the DApp.
Awesome.
Do you guys have any plans to make it cross-chain compatible, like to Ethereum?
Yes. So we're going to be rolling out with BSC first. And then one of our roadmap items is to allow ERC20 tokens to also use our dApps. So those are the two, BEP20 and ERC20 tokens are the two that we currently have on our roadmap, with BEP20 coming first.
Gotcha. Well, this goes like on the Binance Smart Chain. It doesn't seem like this will be a very big hurdle, but on Ethereum, it might be a big hurdle if you're having the 11% transaction tax. Are you guys thinking about like kind of adjusting that for the different chains, or adjusting the functionality to run smoother, like on different blockchains and different use cases?
Ooh, I didn't understand your question completely. I'm sorry.
So
are we going to allow ERC20 tokens to use our dApps? To that question, the answer, even though it wasn't asked, I asked it myself, is yes. We are going to allow ERC20 tokens to use EverOwn, for example. Is Rise looking to do like a bridge, for example, to ERC20? We are not at this moment.
Gotcha. Well, the previous question was, with the 11% transaction tax, this can be a lot bigger of a fee on Ethereum as an ERC20 as opposed to being a BEP20. Do you guys plan to maybe make adjustments for Ethereum if you have a an ERC20 as opposed to the BEP20, where that tax isn't nearly as significant?
Well, the tax would be the same, right? 11%.
Gas prices and everything, when it costs so much more to I guess I didn't ask it correctly. So the 11% tax with the BEP20, that doesn't seem very out of the ordinary with normal BEP20 tokens, but on ERC20, those transaction taxes seem to be a little bit lesser, just because the gas fee is so much higher and you need to have that little bit more of a buffer. Are you guys going to maybe change that for Ethereum, or just keep it how it is and ride the wave, because eventually the gas will go down and match Binance Smart Chain event, hopefully.
So we're not going to be interacting with ERC20 tokens in that way. So like if we have a so like if a project wants to, an ERC20 token wants to come on EverOwn, they're gonna have to buy a certain amount of Rise in BNB, right? So it'll be a BEP20 Rise, and then we will charge a fee to that project. We haven't discussed yet whether we're gonna charge them in BNB or in Ethereum, but there will never be a scenario where like Ethereum would be taxed 11% to interface with us or any of our products.
Okay, I think I'm following now. Okay, I got it.
So what about adjusting the transaction tax for the dApps that you guys are creating? Because it doesn't really seem feasible to tax everybody 11% of whatever their net worth is in EverRise when they transact on your dApps. Is this something that you've considered?
TJ, have we been talking about on Ever Wallet, or because on EverOwn, right? There's no transaction happening, right?
Right.
It's voting, and it's it's really like we said, a security protocol. On Ever Wallet, the 11% tax when interacting with PancakeSwap will continue. And again, with 6% of that going to the Kraken, 2% distributed to holders, and 3% going to our project sustainability wallet.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was just kind of going off the if you were to like with the cross bridge or having Ethereum dApps and stuff, if that was going to be changed. But that's probably more of a kind of figure that out once it's more established kind of deal?
Yeah. But the dApps would operate the exact same. They would just be functional with ERC20 tokens.
Yeah, I got you.
So if I have EverRise in my MetaMask right now, and when EverOwn comes out and I need to transfer my EverRise from my MetaMask to my EverOwn, will I be charged 11% transaction fee?
So I think you might have it a little misconstrued there. So
is it only selling?
are you talking about EverOwn or EverWallet? Because for
just regarding transferring the token, because I know you have the transaction fee. I mean, that makes sense for when you're selling, but as you create a bigger ecosystem, 11% tax on each transaction within that ecosystem just doesn't seem very scalable.
So in terms of EverOwn, the only people who are going to be using it are the project heads and the project developers.
Okay.
That's a one-time thing, essentially a one-time fee when they want to access their contract. So the only time that they would be paying an 11% tax is when they're buying the tokens, the same way that anyone else would be buying the tokens on the open market, just to hold them in order to use EverOwn. So it's not necessarily 11% of all your net worth. It's just, let's say the fee is you need to hold $10,000 in Rise, you'd have to pay the tax on the $10,000 in Rise that you buy. But I mean, that's pretty normal in the BSC space. 11% tax is, I think right now is pretty low compared to a lot of the other projects.
Yeah, some were like 20 to 40.
Yeah, like they're pretty high now. So 11% is low. And the only time that you're going to have to pay that tax is when you're actually buying the tokens in order to use EverOwn. And
when you sell, correct?
Yes, and when you sell, that's only if you're a project head.
Okay.
I think that cleared it up a little bit more. One last one for me. What collaborations has EverRise kind of secured so far? Are there any in the works that you guys can tell us about? Are there any that you've been really excited about, or, you know, just in general?
Collaborations in what front? The marketing? Or?
Any other projects you guys are working with, or any certain people that you're excited about, just like it in the broad, just as EverRise as a whole?
Yeah, there's a lot of exciting things going on behind the scenes. Unfortunately, we can't disclose, I would say 99% of them until everything is a done deal and made public by both parties. As far as what we're excited about that is exposed to the public, I mean, we're working heavily with Luna PR. David Gockstein is on our core team, and he's great. He talks about Rise every single day on Twitter. He loves the project. He loves what we're up to. He's just a great partner as well. He's our branding consultant. We're building a lot of relationships with international communities. So as Waso mentioned earlier on in the interview, our Turkish community is going like crazy. Our Asian communities are going like crazy. And that's because we're making a lot of deals with Asian marketing partners and Turkish marketing partners. And we're still expanding. I mean, we've just cracked the surface. So we're going to keep expanding our wings and growing. It's just going to be it's not all going to happen at one time. We're doing everything right. We're doing everything strategically. We want to make sure that when we do something, we dot all our I's and cross all our T's. So what I can tell you that's coming up is marketing-wise. Waso, is there anything we can say that isn't a secret, or is everything kind of under the wraps right now?
I mean, we could definitely give Marco a quick shout out, right? So we brought on Marco to our core team. Marco was the head of business development for Certic. So he's bringing a security perspective to our team. I think he's definitely noteworthy of a shout out. I forgot about him for a
bit. It's impressive. Yeah.
Unfortunately, guys, we are running out of time for today. We've already gone over, and we got pre-market prep at the close coming up next. But TJ, Waso, thank you guys so much for coming on, sharing your time with us and sharing the details on the project. And certainly gonna have to keep our eyes on it going forward. Before you guys head out, I just want to give you a chance. Any final shout outs? Where can people connect with you? The floor is yours.
Yeah, so we can be connected with on Twitter at EverRise. We just launched a brand new website, www.everrisecoin.com. And you can join our Telegram community. All those links are on our website and our Twitter. And Waso and I are both very engaged and very active. So we'll if you want to get in touch with us, it's very easy.
Definitely.
Awesome.
I want to say thank you so much, guys. You know, I'm going to be doxing with Titan at the end of this month. So hopefully next time I'm here, I'll be on camera. And I'm really looking forward to, you know, hopefully coming back here and talking a little bit about EverOwn after it launches. So thank you so much for your time, guys.
Sounds
We're
great.
looking forward to it.
Thank you, guys.
Hi to
All
the
right,
guys
everyone.
dropped on Ryan.
All right.
You're having a great day.
If you're new to Benzinga, make sure to subscribe. Come back for Moon or Bust every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That is it for us today. We will see you next week.